Good morning, guys. It's Wednesday morning. Seems like we're gonna have a little bit of rain, but that's okay. We're in May, and we usually have a May-June rainy season, so it's expected. I'm here continuing in Luke chapter 6, the last couple of verses. So, reading from verse 4 to 6, Jesus says, "So, why do you keep calling me Lord when you don't do what I say? I will show you what it's like when someone comes to me, listens to my teaching, then follows it. It is like a person building a house who digs a deep who digs deep and lays a foundation on solid rock. When the floodwaters rise and break against the house, it stands firm because it is well built. But anyone who hears and doesn't obey is like a person who builds a house without a foundation. When the floods sweep down against that house, it will collapse into a heap of ruins." Now, here it is. Jesus is talking and he says, "Hey, listen, you guys are calling me Lord. You're saying, and those days, Lord means you're the one in charge of me, you're the one who has authority over me. And yet you were not doing what I say," which is kind of conflicting. And he says, "Listen, if you really mean it, then you're gonna do what I say. And if you do it, it's like someone who's building their house on a firm, solid rock foundation. And then there are people who build on sand, but when the floods come up and rushes against it, it's going to collapse." A couple of things I want to point out quickly. One, you might want to know, why would people build on sand? But the reality is, they actually do have people who build on sand, and sometimes maybe because they just love, how the beachfront looks, it's all about the moment, this is fine, I want it right here next to the water, and forgetting that there's a storm, like there's a possibility of storms coming, and if storms coming and you're just there on the beach, on the sand, then your house is going to collapse. And then, of course, there are those who just do it because everybody else is doing it, but if they think it's fine, then it's fine. I see other people building here. There's just saying that if everybody says a stupid thing, it still is a stupid thing. And that's what happens. Sometimes in our lives, we claim to be Christians, we claim to be following God, we claim to be children of God, but then we're really not making it a reality. We're not putting it into practice. We're not following the word of God. We're not picking up the word at every opportunity and reading it. We're just simply, and now it's available on, all kinds of devices, audio. And so listening to the word is easy. Reading the word is easy. Meditating on it is not all that easy because you have to spend time. And I've been a Christian for more than half my life, and still there's that temptation to just go back to bed in the morning instead of get up and spend time with God. Like, no, you're tired, but you have to keep at it. You got to keep ensuring that Jesus remains your foundation, that the word of God remains your foundation and your guide on a daily basis, not just sometimes. You can't do it whenever you feel like. You got to ensure that we are making God our foundation for every single thing that we do. And then we're going to really see his help, his guidance, and our dreams begin to unfold. So let's just not just talk the talk, but let's walk the walk. Let's ensure that our lives truly reflect Jesus as our foundation. Everything that we do, everything that we say. Like I say, I've been a Christian for more than half my life, and there's still that temptation sometimes to not spend time in the Word, to not do things the way God would want it done, to just go with the flow like everybody else, And sometimes it's difficult because you got to stand alone, Most times, you see a really big cliff or, mountain, there, people don't really want to go up there to build. There are very few people who are going to go all the way up there and do all that fancy digging to build something strong and solid up there. But when they do, it remains, there are some buildings from way back when, I think it's in New York, where they built into the cliff. the face of the cliff. And these things have been there for hundreds of years because it's solid foundation, and of course, many of the things built along the seashore have been washed away, buried, no longer there, because of course the foundation was not right. So let's ensure the foundations of our life stand on the word of God. Make it a reality, not just talking. Ensure that when Jesus looks, he'd be like, yeah, that's a child of mine, she's following my teaching. And he's able to bring in all the other things that come with really and truly following him. All right, so that's my word of encouragement to you today. Remember, he loves you and I do too. Be blessed. Let's make it a reality.